Welcome, collectors and hobby enthusiasts. Thank you once again for joining me for an all-new episode of Diecast Emporium. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a relatively large scale model. This is the 1:34 scale, first gear, Peterbilt model 367 with McNeilus Bridgemaster mixer. This version was done for the Watsonville, California company called Graniterock. Now, at first glance, you can't really tell what's inside this box. Unlike other manufacturers, there's no description of the actual model. There's no picture. There's no clear window. But there is a sticker which reads Graniterock 19-4096, and that gives you an indication of what's inside. The back of the box tells us some features of the model, which read 1:34 scale die-cast metal replica, fully detailed interior, rotating mixer drum, posable chute with extensions, detailed chassis and undercarriage, and this model measures approximately 15 inches long. Additionally, this model, as with 95% of my other videos on this channel, these are adult scale models. They are not in any way recommended for children. I cannot emphasize that enough, particularly for the new viewers on this channel. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and open up one of the side flaps. Pull out the expanded polystyrene formers. Now, you will have to do some surgical knife work. Cut the tape which runs the entire length of the two polystyrene formers. They are helpfully marked, top and bottom, so there's no excuse for you opening up this model upside down. Inside, we get our first look at the Peterbilt truck. You're going to lift him straight out. There's no twisty ties or anything that you're going to have to battle with. The only other objects that are inside the box are three optional plastic concrete chute extensions, and we'll see these up close later on in the video. Okay, with our concrete mixer out of the box, let's begin the model review. Let's focus on the paint and decal and detail in the first part of this model review. So obviously, this is a large model. Box said it measures 15 inches long. The paint is really striking on here. I really do enjoy this color combination of the Graniterock Corporation. The green is more of a emerald or a forestry green with a little bit of metal flake inside of it. You can kind of see that if we zoom in and adjust really closely. The orange is more of a burnt or a dark orange. Again, contrasts with the green very well. The body of the truck, for the most part, is black. The hubs or the wheels, again, orange. Good choice there. I think it stands out and looks really good. To bring everything out, your detail accents, such as your mirrors, your visor, your horn, your exhaust on the right-hand side of the machine, that's all done in chrome and looks very good. You have a little bit of diamond plating texturing on this step. The front of the truck, your bumper, again, is in that same green style that we've seen before. And then your radiator covering of the front part of your nose, again, is outlined in that chrome with your Peterbilt logo right front and center. The interior of the truck is difficult to see, especially to get it on camera, but there's been a fair amount of effort. You have a detailed steering wheel and a really detailed dash. It has the beige or the brown background. All of the panels and stuff are highlighted with some black paint. It's a pity that we can't get a better look at it, and that's partly because the doors do not open on this model. Moving along to some other details, you can see on the truck that there is no shortage of warning labels on the tanks, even on the fender wells here. You also have the McNeilus name badge right here as well. Peterbilt, Graniterock logo, California, right here. And you also have a fleet number of 1900. Obviously, Graniterock displayed very proudly on the mixing drum. Back of the truck features a lot of nice smaller details, including some rubber water hose lines, some other hydraulic lines, your drop axle, which we'll put down for now just to give you a better look at the different lights up here, and then flanking both sides of the concrete discharge chute. On this side, when not in use, you can store those concrete chutes that I mentioned during the unboxing in their holders right here, and each of those chutes actually have warning labels on them as well. Here's your different pumps and tanks, more rubber lines going to them to give them some detail, and that brings us back to where we started. For the functionality aspect of this review, let's get the negative aspects out of the way first. I mentioned before that the doors to the cab unfortunately do not open. The same is true about the hood. That's not functional, and there's no working steering. It is a bit of a pity that this casting being as large as it is, in my opinion, there's really no excuse for these features not to be implemented, but maybe that had something to do with saving the cost on the tooling for the customer who initially paid for the 367 to be modeled and done by First Gear. Moving along, left-hand side of the truck gives us a working folding down stair. So if you have a large scale figure, particularly anywhere from 1/30th to 1/35th scale, I'd say, he would look at home climbing this ladder to pour some water into the chute or maybe rinsing off the discharge chutes. You could do that with this ladder. I already showed you the folding down wheels, the drop axle. So if you are posing this truck in a diorama, perhaps with the concrete drum full of cement, you can have the drop axle down to more evenly help with the dispersion of the weight on the axles, or if the truck is empty, you can have it folded up and out of service. Additionally, I already pointed out this is where you put your concrete extension chutes if they're not in service, but let's say you're on site and you need a concrete chute extension. This is the basic setup, or in other words, the way that it comes on the truck with no chute extensions. But for sake of the review, let's put on a single chute extension just to show you how that works. If we look right here at the ends of this concrete chute, you can see those little loops, and those hook on to the end like so. And there you go. Very quickly, you now have a longer concrete discharge chute, so you can get your concrete to where it needs to go by swinging it left or right. There's also a slight bit of play up and down, again, so that you can pose your concrete chute where it needs to go. That will conclude my review of First Gear's Peterbilt Model 367 concrete mixer with the McNeilus concrete body. Obviously, the highlight of this model for me is the striking Graniterock livery or paint scheme, call it what you will. The cons of this model, obviously, are the limited functionality with no steering, no hood opening, no doors opening. But at the other end of things, the concrete drum and its functionality seems to work just fine. This would look perfect behind the Diecast Masters concrete paving machines that I reviewed earlier this year. So if you have not seen those reviews, take a look at your top of the screen now, where you will see a suggested link for those videos. As always, I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you all so very much for joining me and watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe as I upload videos weekly. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, take care and be safe. I'll see you in the next review.